The Gulf War, B. The 2nd of August 1990 - the 28th of February 1991. Codenamed Operation Desert Shield, the 2nd of August 1990 - the 17th of January 1991. For operations leading to the buildup of troops in defense of Saudi Arabia, and Operation Desert Storm, the 17th of January 1991 - the 28th of February 1991. In its combat phase, was a war waged by coalition forces from 35 nations led by the United States against Iraq in response to Iraq's invasion and annexation of Kuwait arising from oil pricing and production disputes. On the 2nd of August 1990, the Iraqi army invaded and occupied Kuwait, which was met with international condemnation and brought immediate economic sanctions against Iraq by members of the UN Security Council. Together with the UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, American President George H.W. Bush deployed U.S. forces into Saudi Arabia and urged other countries to send their own forces to the scene. An array of nations joined the coalition, forming the largest military alliance since World War II. Most of the coalition's military forces were from the U.S., with Saudi Arabia, the United Kingdom and Egypt as leading contributors, in that order. Kuwait and Saudi Arabia paid around $32 billion of the $60 billion cost. The war marked the introduction of live news broadcasts from the front lines of the battle, principally by the U.S. network CNN. The war has also earned the nickname Video Game War after the daily broadcast of images from cameras on board U.S. bombers during Operation Desert Storm. The initial conflict to expel Iraqi troops from Kuwait began with an aerial and naval bombardment on the 17th of January 1991, continuing for 5 weeks. This was followed by a ground assault on the 24th of February. This was a decisive victory for the coalition forces, who liberated Kuwait and advanced into Iraqi territory. The coalition ceased its advance and declared a ceasefire 100 hours after the ground campaign started. Aerial and ground combat was confined to Iraq, Kuwait, and areas on Saudi Arabia's border. Iraq launched Scud missiles against coalition targets in Saudi Arabia and against Israel. Throughout the Cold War, Iraq had been an ally of the Soviet Union, and there was a history of friction between it and the United States. The U.S. was concerned with Iraq's position on Israeli-Palestinian politics. The U.S. also disliked Iraqi support for many Arab and Palestinian militant groups such as Abu Nidal, which led to Iraq's inclusion on the developing U.S. list of state sponsors of terrorism on the 29th of December 1979. Join me as we go deep in my next episode. Don't forget to subscribe.